What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Roman Reigns to miss Survivor Series, CM Punk breaks silence on rumored return, WWE misses out on a huge star, a wrestler accused of stealing one of Randy Orton's moves, SummerSlam 2024 venue chosen, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new website, Wrestlelamia.com. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at Roman Reigns to miss Survivor Series. At top of today's news is Roman Reigns' status for Survivor Series. Survivor Series is still considered one of WWE's big four shows, along with the Rumble, WrestleMania and SummerSlam, which makes a Reigns appearance seem obvious. Although Reigns didn't defend the title last year, he worked the men's War Games match. Nevertheless, Dave Meltzer is reporting this week's Observer that Reigns is not scheduled for Survivor Series, which is notable because it's considered a Big Four event. He defends at Crown Jewel, and his next scheduled pay-per-view match won't be until the Royal Rumble. The Tribal Chief hasn't wrestled since SummerSlam, and at one point there were rumors that Reigns was injured at SummerSlam, but these rumors have been confirmed or refuted. But it's curious that Reigns won't be working a Big Four pay-per-view. Is he working through any injury, and the WWE wants to make things easy for him with just one title defense? Well, if Reigns is healthy, it seems odd that he won't be working one of WWE's biggest shows. The addition of the War Games match to Survivor Series seems to have rejuvenated a show which some fans felt was no longer a Big Four event. One of the most interesting theories about Roman's rumored absence is that WWE already has CM Punk lined up for Survivor Series, and that WWE doesn't want Roman's presence to take away from Punk's debut. It makes sense on paper, but only if Punk is returning to WWE. Fans have noticed several Easter eggs about Punk on TV, which has only added to the interest. However, what does Punk think about all this, as CM Punk breaks his silence on rumored return? Now, is CM Punk returning to WWE? Well, wrestling fans have a field day with this, and now CM Punk is finally speaking out about a potential WWE return. Punk recently appeared on Chicago's 670 The Score and commented on the question that's driving fans bonkers. They're asking if I'm going to be there. I think it's sold out. I think tickets are hard to get. While fans won't know Punk's WWE status until he shows up, this is the kind of answer fans would expect from the straight-edge superstar who seems to love to push people's buttons. Next up, CM Punk not wanted. While some fans believe Punk will show up in WWE, Dave Meltzer isn't so sure. Meltzer speculated on where Punk could end up in the current Wrestling Observer, saying, "It's an interesting situation because Punk is now 45. While we've seen wrestlers lasting longer than in the past because they don't want to work as many matches per year and generally keep themselves in better condition, but time is still running out if he still wants to be in wrestling." Meltzer also remarked WWE and AEW are appearing to be dead deals, at least for now, and he could probably make more money, have more control, and have a company built around him more here than in New Japan, which would be the only other major league alternative. From a strategic standpoint, he could also sign a shorter-term deal, and if there are any changes in WWE and AEW as far as thoughts on him, especially if there's no more incidents like in AEW, perhaps the other companies would give him another chance down the road. Meltzer has been wrong before, but there have been other reports that WWE has no interest in bringing him back. Next up, CM Punk explains why wrestlers won't form a union. During his appearance, Punk also discussed whether he thinks wrestlers need to unionize. Wrestlers should 100% have a union. Like Grip hasn't been able to supplement their income in any other way. For professional wrestling, wrestlers should 100% have a union. Punk also commented on the likelihood of forming a union. And I'll always say this, and I meant it in the most loving way. Wrestlers will never unionize because wrestlers are stupid and selfish. It's just the way it is. There's always going to be somebody else around the corner who wants what you have, or possibly just doesn't want what you have. And they will do whatever a promoter wants for you to do less money, and that's unfortunate. You know, the boys never stick together. The subject of wrestlers forming a union has come up many times in the past. Not long ago, Selena Vega discussed how wrestlers need to stand together. This situation arose after the WWE told superstars to turn over their revenue sources such as Twitch and Cameo so the WWE could monetize it. Vega refused to do so and was released by WWE before eventually returning. There are many issues that need to be addressed in wrestling, such as wrestlers' status as independent contractors instead of employees, but until wrestlers take a stand, things are unlikely to change. What do you guys think about Punk's comments? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up is Ric Flair sticking around in AEW. Ric Flair shocked the wrestling world when he appeared on the 25th October Dynamite to pay tribute to a longtime rival Sting. Now it appears that this wasn't a one-off appearance and that the Nature Boy intends to stick around for a while. According to a report in this week's Observer, Flair had no contractual ties with WWE. He probably would have come in earlier as if they were in talks when the Dark Side of the Ring episode hit and pretty much all talks ended. But Tony Khan wanted him to be part of the Sting storyline and he's supposed to be on the show as part of this through March. I believe part of this is also that AEW will help promote his Woo Energy drink, or at least that is what is being talked about. If Flair does stick around, do you think AEW will let him work a match? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE missed out on a huge star. It looks like New Japan Pro Wrestling's Tama Tonga won't be signing with WWE. Tonga recently spoke with Fightful Select, revealing that WWE was interested in bringing him with his brother into the promotion. However, Tama has re-upped with New Japan. The WWE has another big prospect from New Japan. It's trying to sign Will Ospreay. Ospreay's contract is believed to wrap up in February of 2024, and WWE is already chomping at the bit to sign him. Next up, has WWE Changed War Games? Has the WWE decided to change the men's War Games match? Meltzer recently reported that WWE wasn't going to go with a Raw vs SmackDown War Games bout, despite teases of tension between Raw General Manager Adam Pearce and SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. However, WrestleVotes is now reporting regarding War Games. I'm told creative within WWE has gone back and forth for a while on the matchup for Survivor Series. Within the last few weeks, the thought was to keep the story only on the Raw side of things, but the sense from a source is that it's now changed. As we commented before, War Games' premise is to settle a feud in a two-cage structure, and it makes sense to pit two warring factions such as the Judgment Day against Raw's babyfaces. Fans will have to wait and see what happens, but who would you guys like to see compete in the War Games match? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a former superstar talks tension working a match against Brock Lesnar. A former UFC champion, Cain Velasquez, is no stranger to Brock Lesnar, as Cain defeated Lesnar for the UFC Heavyweight Championship during their time in the UFC. But that being said, how were things between Lesnar and Velasquez when they competed at 2019's Crown Jewel? Apparently a bit tense, as Cain told a Quinton Rampage Jackson on Jackson's podcast. I guess Lesnar was a little scarred up. It's not like we did the thing and it was all good. He has something for life on his face. I don't know if anybody tells him about it or puts it in his face. The match was nothing memorable, as it lasted less than a handful of minutes before Lesnar won. Velasquez was then literally released by WWE straight after. Next up, a wrestler accused of stealing one of Randy Orton's moves. Randy Orton has several signature moves, and now some fans are accusing Lexus King, aka former AEW wrestler Brian Pillman Jr., of stealing one of Orton's moves. Some fans jumped on social media claiming his elevated swinging neck breaker, which places opponents' feet on the ropes and performs a swinging neck breaker, looks too much like Randy Orton's elevated DDT. It's worth mentioning that the moves may appear similar, but anyone remotely familiar with wrestling moves knows the difference between a swinging neck breaker and a DDT. It's also worth noting that Orton can be accused of stealing the RKO, as former wrestler Johnny Ace is believed to have originated the cutter move Orton uses. Furthermore, Orton's cutter is similar to Diamond Dallas Page's Diamond Cutter. While some finishes are protected, such as the RKO, this accusation about King appears to be baseless. And finally, the SummerSlam 2024 venue chosen. And last but not least, it looks like WWE may have a venue picked for next year's SummerSlam. The biggest party of the summer may be coming to Cleveland, Ohio. Fightful Select is reporting that Cleveland is the frontrunner for SummerSlam, and Dave Meltzer speculated in this week's Observer that the show, which would almost surely be held at the Browns football stadium, would hold 62,000 with normal WWE staging. The WWE is white hot right now, and the municipalities are likely willing to pay top dollar for the rights to host a WWE show. What do you guys think of this? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.